Fun fact: a drifter is a person who is continually moving from place to place without any fixed home or job. A drifter is also an ultralight aircraft, a movie made in 1988, a device used to explore ocean currents, and the name of a chocolate bar in the UK. Hi everyone, I have another knife review for you today, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the CRKT Drifter. Now this knife has been one that has escaped my collection for a long time, and I want to give a big thanks to Mr. Jimbo Fox for really pushing me to pick this guy up. It's a very inexpensive but well-made knife, and something that I would strongly recommend for anyone who's looking for a cheap but well-made EDC knife. So in this review what I want to do is go over some specifications and then start talking about the knife in more detail. Alright, first off, I have two variations here, or two versions of the same variation. On the top here is a partially serrated G10 drifter, on the bottom is a full plain edge G10 drifter. You can also get a steel frame lock version of this knife if that's something you're interested in. So let me put this out of the frame here and we can start talking about the CRKT Drifter. Now I picked this knife up because I wanted something inexpensive that I could use for EDC and I could really beat up on and not really worry if it gets scratched, dinged, or messed up in any way. Simply because it's so inexpensive, if anything did happen, I can very easily replace it. You can find the Drifter from anywhere from $18 to $30 online depending on where you shop, and for the money it's a very good value. To start off, we have an overall length of 6.5 inches. Right, so it fits in the medium-sized category for me with a 2.8 inch long blade. Right. The blade material is an 8 CR13 MOV. Great steel, I've had very good luck with it. You've seen that steel on other knives such as the Spyderco Persistence and Tenacious, and for me it's held up very well to simple EDC tasks, cutting through cardboard, paper, opening boxes, simple tasks like that. It is a softer steel, however, so you are going to have to sharpen it more often than you would a harder steel like 154cm or S30V, but it does keep the price down, so it really works well with this knife. Alright, the blade shape is a drop point, and it has a hollow ground blade. The blade is coated with a gray titanium nitrate to help with corrosion and rust resistance. Alright, it also looks very nice with the black G10 handle scales there. So an overall very handsome looking knife in my opinion. Alright, the blade has held a really good edge so far. Again, I haven't done too many hard use tasks with this knife, just simple cutting of cardboard and paper on occasion, opening letters when I needed to. But so far, so good. As you move down the handle and see the G10 handle scales here, I really like the texturing on the G10. It's not overly aggressive like you have on some ZTs and some Kershaws like the Tirade, where it's just very aggressive G10. This is actually a little bit smoother, but it does give you a very nice grip to hold onto the knife and get a good solid purchase on it. Alright, you can see the hardware here, the Torx screws and the pivot screw are relatively flush against the handle. It's a very nice feel, just your hand just glides right over it, and the pivot screw here is nice and rounded off so there's no sharp edges. Right, this is a pillar construction, so it's very easy to clean if you need to. You might be able to see some dust and lint that's built up so far after use, but very easy to clean. As you flip it over, you can see the pocket clip here. One hit I do have to give on this knife is the pocket clip, simply because you are not able to position it any other way except for the way that it comes from the factory, which is right hand side tipped down. In my opinion, there's plenty of real estate on both sides of the handle scales and tip up and tip down to position it that way, to let the user pick what orientation they prefer. So I do wish they would change that, and it would just make it more user friendly to a larger audience. However, the pocket clip is nice. It does hold it and clip onto your pocket and really get a good grip on it. It's not going anywhere. The finish on it is nice. I haven't had any problems with the chipping or scuffing, so they did do a good job with that. Right, there is a small lanyard hole in the back here, but again, with the orientation, right hand side tip down, the lanyard is going to be in your pocket, so in my opinion it's kind of pointless to have that lanyard hole there, unless you're going to remove the pocket clip altogether. Alright, now this guy locks open with a liner lock. Right, nice lockup. very solid. Alright, no blade play, excuse me, no blade play up and down. There's a slight bit of blade play side to side that I have accumulated after some use. However, my girlfriend's variation here, the partially serrated version, does not have any blade play. Alright, there is a slight road dripping on that liner to help it make it a little bit easier to push over and close. And the liner is raised slightly, which also helps your thumb get a good, solid purchase on it and then push it over. Thumb studs, kind of a ramped or pyramid style thumb stud. Very nice, it's very quick and easy to deploy, extremely fast. Right, you can use the meat of your thumb or your thumbnail, however you like, and it opens up nice and fast and locks into place. Right, there is a slight row of jimping on the top here at the very beginning of the thumb ramp on the blade spine. However, I find that with my hands, I do have larger hands, so when getting a full grip on the knife, my thumb actually likes to rest a little bit farther forward, so it bypasses that jimping altogether. Right, if you have smaller hands, you might be able to use that jimping. However, I find it to be a little bit smooth and not very grippy, so it's more for aesthetics than anything else, in my opinion. Right? But overall, it's very comfortable, nice, very ergonomic. It's been a pleasure to use and carry as an EDC, and it would be something I'd strongly recommend to anyone who's looking for a relatively inexpensive knife, very good quality. Alright, now for a quick size comparison with the CRKT Drifter. I'm going to put that all the way at the top of the screen here and compare it to a couple knives. First off would be the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. It's the 5.55 hollow ground version. Right. Kershaw Skyline. And Spyderco Persistence. Now for some miscellaneous comparisons. First is just going to be a standard Bic pen. You can see in the open position. It's almost the exact same length. Alright, now in the closed position, a couple items here. First off, it's going to be a 4.7's Quark AA flashlight. Alright, and then your standard Zippo. Alright, so it's just been size comparisons for the CRKT Drifter. Now for another cutting demonstration on some cardboard, just an old pizza box here. Alright, see how we do. Now for an up close and personal look at the CRKT Drifter. You can see that G10 has a couple little scratches on there, but for the most part, nice and clean. See the hardware, it's very flush against the G10 scales, and that pivot screw is nicely rounded off. Got a pillar construction, makes it very easy to clean. Right, you can see some lint and dirt build up in there already. On the back here you can see the pocket clip. Been very impressed, it hasn't chipped or worn off any of the paint there. So far it's doing pretty well. You can see that gray titanium nitrate finish is holding up very well. See a couple scuffs on there from use, but for the most part, holding up very well. Alright, so this has been an up close and personal look at the CRKT Drifter. Alright, so my final thoughts on the CRKT Drifter. I've been extremely happy with my version, and my girlfriend has been extremely happy with her version of the CRKT Drifter. I think it's a great all-around user and inexpensive EDC. You get a lot for the money for around $20. A great blade steel, 8CR13 MOV. Haven't had any problems with it. I've been extremely happy with it. Very nice edge retention and very easy to resharpen when necessary. Nice G10 handles, very nicely textured, really allows you to get a good positive, secure grip on a knife, and they're very comfortable and ergonomic. I must give them credit for that. Nice solid lockup with liner lock, and extremely easy and fast to deploy. Alright, both left-handed and right-handed. So definitely something I'd recommend if you're in the market for inexpensive, lightweight user EDC. Definitely go check them out. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.